Science fiction is quite simply one of the most popular genres of film that we have. The creation of faraway places and futuristic technology seems to be exactly what the medium of film was designed to create. Science fiction on film has been around for as long as there have been movies, but which ones are the best? To answer that question, we brought this video about another 10 best science fiction movies which are available on Netflix, Prime Video and other platforms. I recommend you watch the video completely so that you won't miss out on anyone on this list. For now, let's begin. Number 10. Prometheus. Prometheus is a 2012 British-American science fiction film directed by Ridley Scott, written by John Bates and Damon Lindelof. The story takes place in the late 21st century and centers on the crew of the spaceship Prometheus as they follow a star map discovered among the remnants of several ancient Earth cultures. Led to a distant world and an advanced civilization, the crew seeks the origins of humanity, but instead discovers a threat that could cause the extinction of the human race. The film began development in the early 2000s as a fifth entry in the Alien franchise, with both Scott and director James Cameron developing ideas for a film that would serve as a prequel to Scott's 1979 science fiction horror film Alien. Prometheus got 7 rating on IMDb and 73% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available to stream on Hotstar. Number 9. AI Artificial Intelligence. AI is a 2001 science fiction film directed by Steven Spielberg. Spielberg is a well-known Hollywood director who directed movies like Indiana Jones series, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Catch Me If You Can, Minority Report and many more. AI is the story of a lifelike robot child played by Haley Joel Osment who is programmed to love but is rejected by his would-be mother, and since he was never programmed to understand rejection, embarks on a futile quest to be a decent human child. Inherently emotional but objectively cynical, AI artificial intelligence takes place at the moment when technology has only just begun to surpass the limitations of the humans who invented it, and illustrates how the introduction of a new lower class of people would be misunderstood and abused by the creators. The movie got 7.2 rating on IMDb and 75% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available to stream on both the Amazon Prime and Paramount+. Number 8. Blade Runner 2049. Denis Villeneuve's follow-up to Arrival is another profoundly ambitious sci-fi epic, a follow-up to the cult hit Blade Runner with a huge budget and absolutely no compromises to the mainstream. Blade Runner 2049 is just as grim, heady and off-putting as the original, and it's just as captivating to those who can key into its depressive wavelength. Ryan Reynolds stars as a replicant tasked with hunting and killing a replicant child who, according to the android's designs, should not have been born in the first place. Along the way, he uncovers a conspiracy that dates back Ridley Scott's original sci-fi masterpiece, with story elements that answer age-old questions but leave some of them shrouded in. Blade Runner 2049 got an 8 rating on IMDb and 88% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available on Amazon Prime. Number 7. Gravity. Sometimes it feels like folks have forgotten about Gravity, Alfonso Cuarón's 2013 sci-fi flick which won 7 well-deserved Oscars, including for directing, cinematography and visual effects. Maybe that's because Gravity played so extraordinarily well in cinemas as an immersive spectacle that it simply needs to be seen on the big screen, and in 3D no less. And unlike so many other movies that were part of the 3D craze in the early 2010s, Gravity's 3D actually worked, leaving audiences feeling like they had to duck behind the next row of seats to escape flying debris. A career-best performance from Sandra Bullock as an astronaut stranded in orbit and forced to improvise through one harrowing life-or-death scenario after another is suitably captivating, as Bullock carries the film almost entirely on her own. With 7.7 rating on IMDb and 96% Rotten Tomatoes score, Gravity is available to watch on Amazon Prime. Number 6. Moon. Duncan Jones sure knows how to make an entrance. Jones's 2009 directorial debut is a bleak exploration of loneliness and what it means to be human. Sam Rockwell turns in a brilliant performance as Sam, the sole operator of a lunar mining facility, who finds himself suffering from unexplained visions. As it turns out, there's a lot for Sam to question about the state of his reality and Moon explores it with a kind of tense, neurotic glee. Without getting into spoilers, Moon is virtually a one-man showcase for Rockwell, with most other characters appearing on monitor screens and as disembodied voices. It's an unmissable film if you haven't seen it, and one that, despite its heavier moments, is endlessly rewatchable too. Moon got 7.8 rating on IMDb and 90% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available to stream on HBO Max. Number 5. Wall-E. Imagine, if you will, a future techno-capitalist hellscape. The Earth is trashed. The human race bums around the universe on an antique luxury starliner run by a misanthropic autopilot. Touchscreens hover over our corpulent, reclined bodies as we cycle through mindless entertainment options until the fake sun goes back down. Welcome to the grim world of PG animated family film Wall-E. 2008 Wall-E is another win for venerated studio Pixar and a surprisingly scathing social critique. The premise of the movie is simple. What if humanity left Earth and forgot to turn the last robot off on our way out? That question gives way to a remarkable sci-fi adventure story. Simply by clocking in, crushing his trash into cubes, and being himself, Wall-E makes a compelling case that humanity deserves a second chance. The movie got 8.4 rating on IMDb and 95% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available on Disney Plus Hotstar. Number 4. Her. Spike Jonze's fourth feature as a director is a gentle, melancholy yet incisive look at human relationships in an age of encroaching technology. Introverted Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix, whose job is composing personal letters for people who are unable to do so themselves, is depressed and lonely after the end of his marriage with Catherine. When he installs a new operating system at home, a virtual assistant, which is named Samantha, voiced by Scarlett Johansson, is programmed to evolve on its own, and soon Theodore and Samantha begin an intimate relationship, even as Samantha begins to advance beyond human comprehension. The love story between Theodore and Samantha is believably developed, and Samantha's final stages of development hint at unknown realms of consciousness we can only guess at. Her got 8 rating on IMDb and 94% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available to watch on Prime Video. Number 3. Donnie Darko. Teenagers often feel like they're helpless in the face of uncontrollable forces, but usually that's just hormones. In Richard Kelly's cult classic Donnie Darko, it's actually a hallucination in a rabbit costume and probably some form of time travel. Jake Gyllenhaal stars as the title character, a disenfranchised teen who seems to be suffering from a severe mental illness, but whose visions and inexplicable deeds seem more than human and yield results that suggest he knows things that nobody could possibly know. The science of Donnie Darko is oblique and challenging, and you could turn your brain around 180 degrees just trying to keep them all straight. But the important thing is the way Kelly's film illustrates adolescent aimlessness as a strange form of wisdom. The movie got 8 rating on IMDb and 87% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and you can stream it on Prime Video. Number 2. 12 Monkeys. It's a neo-noir science fiction film directed by Terry Gilliam, inspired by Chris Marker's 1962 short film La Jetée, and starring Bruce Willis, Madeleine Stowe, and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt won a Golden Globe for his performance as Jeffrey Joins. A deadly virus released in 1996 wipes out almost all of humanity, forcing remaining survivors to live underground. A group known as the Army of the 12 Monkeys is believed to be behind the release of the virus. In 2035, James Cole is a prisoner living in a subterranean compound beneath the ruins of Philadelphia. Cole is selected for a mission where he is trained and sent back in time to locate the original virus in order to help scientists develop a cure. On the basis of this movie, a TV series of the same name also started streaming since 2015. 12 Monkeys got 8 rating on IMDb and 88% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's available to watch on Prime Video. Number 1. Interstellar. Hands down, Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan, is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. The movie keeps you hooked with its storyline, emotions, visual effects, and sci-fi elements. Earth's future is not looking great, and so Professor Brand, a NASA physicist, makes a plan to transport people to a new home via a wormhole and save mankind. While on the mission, the scientists face a lot of hurdles to find a planet where humans can survive. The movie was a commercial hit and won an Oscar in the category Best Achievement in Visual Effects and the Academy Awards 2015. Interstellar was lauded by the critics, with praise directed at screenplay, visual effects, direction, acting performances, and themes. It was also praised for portraying theoretical astrophysics accurately. In fact, it is considered one of the best sci-fi movies of all time by sci-fi experts. With 8.6 rating on IMDb and 73% score on Rotten Tomatoes, Interstellar is available on Netflix. Hope you liked the video. If you think any movie should be included in the list, mention them in the comments. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video.